Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Southdown Garage. On the hottest day, not quite the hottest day, Monday will be, but when this video comes out, it is the hottest day yet of the year, and we're talking about AC. No, we're not talking about a house AC, although this is a good example of my 1970 whatever that likes to blow their breakers all the time. Right now it's decided that it's going to work, and it's been working for 15 minutes, which is a win because I need to keep this house cool. But we're not talking about keeping your house cool. We're talking about keeping your car cool. And one of the most frustrating things you can have is when the AC in your car stops working. Now, you're not watching this video because your AC is working, because let's be honest, you're laughing at everybody whose AC isn't working. So if you have this issue where all of a sudden you have no AC, there's a bunch of things you need to go through first before panic booking your car in to get a recharge. And let's be honest, right now, if you're trying to get a recharge, you're probably not getting one for a few weeks to a few months. And like a lot of people who are having actual AC problems in their house, you could be looking as far as 8 weeks. So what can you do at home? Well, that's what this video is about. So let's get out there, and I'm gonna hate my life for doing this because it's really hot outside. Okay, so these are the tools that we're going to use today. We have a power probe, a test light, we have a meat thermometer. I'm sure everyone has one of those. As high up to a thermal imager, which I don't foresee many having. Yes, I understand you're not going to have this tool, you may not have this tool or this tool, but this can help out a lot. We're going to primarily try to do things that you can duplicate at home. But if you have these tools, then why not? Okay, let's get into it. Yeah, I get it. It's hotter than the desert out here. And you're like, no, I don't live in Arizona. This video is brought to you by Canada, where we don't get these kind of temperatures. Thank you very much. But if you're having the same problem we are, heat is not a good thing. So first thing you want to do, turn the ignition on. And your car, first of all, does it blow air? Because that's important. Because if it doesn't, then you're looking somewhere else. So let's start with that. Oh dear. Does your car blow air? If not, why not? Does the display work? Like mine is right now. If all this display is working and that's not working, then we have to look at one thing. But if your display does not even come on, I've had this before, if your display does not come on, your stereo works, then you've got another problem. And I am sweating profusely. So let's get into this. Okay, so now you get in your car, you turn your ignition on, stereo turns on, and you're like, wait a minute, why isn't this working? Why isn't that working? Very good question, thank you, because I've had this happen. And no monetization. I've had this happen. It is not fun. Well, you know how it feels, so I'm not going to explain this to you. However, if you do not have this issue, skip ahead in the video to the next section, because I know you're sweating like I am right now and you're like, I really don't want to listen to this guy blab on. So if you have this issue, here is where the fuse is. Right here. This is the fuse. So if that isn't working, take that and check the fuse. Nextly, if that is still working, you want to check that fuse. And if that fuse is okay, then we can move on to under the hood. And then if that fuse isn't okay, swap it for another fuse and see if it works. By the way, that's not a very good diagnostic technique. I know if you're a mechanic, you're gonna cringe. Put that fuse back in. Everything is back, hooray! Life is grand, my fan worked. Going under the hood to check those fuses. Okay, so your fans work, your control works, all that works. Let's move to the next step. Is this plugged? Do you have stuff in here you can see through the vents maybe? Look in there. Is all this plugged? Is all this plugged in here? And if it is, take a hose, run it on the inside of here and push all that out. Now next is probably one of the easiest, is the belt running from behind your fan to your compressor. Is it there? If not, you're not going to have AC. Is this connected? Is this adjusted properly? What is adjusted properly? Very good question. When it stops squealing, and then a little bit more. How to adjust this belt? Underneath, on the bottom here, there is an adjustment. Right here. Right there. Adjust the belt up a little bit more. When you're running, check and see if it's kicking in or not. When it kicks in, if you hear a horrendous squeal, that belt is not on there. Next, oh yeah, I gotta take all this off. Hey, my AC stopped working. Oh, this day is so great. Today is gonna challenge everything you have, my friends. Okay, so now that we've got the cowling off, we took this piece off here, which is basically just pulling this up and out of the way. If you're looking for the AC fuse for the relay, it's right here. And if you're looking for your fan relays for this front fan here, it's going to be right here. See, rad fan 1, rad fan 2. If all those are working correctly, then all your electronics for fuse wise are okay. Next step is going to get a lot more complicated. So hang in there. If you're with me, you're with me. If not, I am sorry. But the next step is a little bit more involved, and that's including taking this air box off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put all these pieces back on, and we're going to go take the air box off, and we're going to dig a little bit deeper and see if our coil is okay. And if that's okay, the next step will be to recharge. And this video is not on that. That is quite complicated. I don't really want to get into doing that from home. So the next step will be take this off and see if the coil is okay. Okay, so this is the coil wire. And we can't test this right now, even with the ignition on, so we have to put the airbox back in and back probe this to be able to test and see if we're getting power to it. First things first we want to do, so we've got the test light. We want to check the power here, so that's good. Then we want to connect it to there. See, that works. So now we should have the compressor work, and if we don't, we're going to shut the car off. We're going to take this apart, and I'm going to show you how to test the coil. And if that's not working, then we know where the problem is. If it is working, we're going to have to move on to something different. So with power, so you hear that? That's working. So of course, most of us are not going to do this step, but I just wanted to show you how to go to this step. First, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the airbox back in. Okay, so now that that's checked. Yeah, this is so hot, I don't even want to work out here right now. Well, let's be honest. If anything's going to fail, it's going to be, well, it's hot out. Come on, you dirtbag. There we go. So that's back in, so we can put this intake back. Now we know all the AC components work. Does this pump cold? Did the things that we went through today help us to get this AC system working perfectly? If not, the next step would be to take it to a professional and have them leak test and make sure that we have actual Freon in the system. I would recommend against putting those kits that you can buy from any auto parts store in here, especially if you plan on doing that. Do not use the repair kit. It is garbage. It will destroy your system. I would recommend taking it to a professional, but if you can't, in the words of my late supervisor, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Hey guys, I hope this video helps you. If you like this video, hit that like button. If it didn't help you, hit that dislike button. And if it didn't help you, tell me why it didn't help you in the comments. If it's my intellect, I'm sorry, I'm not an engineer. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Stay inside, drink lots of fluids, not just beer. That's your prerogative. And I will see you next time on another episode of South Down Garage.